Today, we're going to print code every frame. This means that if Roblox runs on 30 frames per second, the code will run 30 times in 1 second. 60 frames, 60 times. We will do it in the character script, since our character currently exists in the world, but you can technically do it from anywhere. We start with game because everything starts from here. To call the getService function. This function's job is to give you a service like players, run service, and more. The run service gives us access to events that fire every frame. Then we need to access an event called renderStepped. This event runs every frame and runs before rendering. So it's very useful for things like movement, visual effects, and camera manipulation. There are other events like heartbeat and bind to renderStep, for example, but these do not run before rendering. So for physics, for example, we would use heartbeat. Then we write connect like this to connect a function to the renderStepped event. RenderStepped cannot work without a function. So there are two ways you can do it. You can either create the function separately first, and then you call it here. You won't see anything happen here. That's because we need to enable the output window. Also, keep in mind that you have to make the function before you do renderStepped, because otherwise, the function won't be valid. For safety reasons, we need to add something called a parameter. You can name this anything you want. But we do this because renderStepped gives us something called delta time. This gives us time in frames, which is necessary for code to run relative to the game's frames. This means that we get the same experience regardless of our current frame rate. Otherwise, people with higher frames would have a different result from people with lower frames. You can also print the value. This value will be different depending on your current FPS. The other way we can do it is to make the function here. Here the parameter works a little differently. You would think that my function here is the function name, but it's actually the delta time parameter. The delta time parameter might seem a bit confusing. But visually, just imagine that the renderStepped event has a value. This value is the delta time. The parameter we make in our function allows the renderStep to pass this value to the function.